When we think of Iceland, we think of one of Europe's last places where wild fish and free-flowing rivers are still abundant. Conditions that we haven't seen in Central Europe for almost a century. Coming from Germany, where catch and release is still illegal, two brothers ventured out to Iceland to find out what is being done to conserve those precious conditions for future generations. And needless to say, we met some interesting people along the way.
So we're here. We arrived last night, pretty late, in Iceland. Slept, just packed the camper. And on the road we are. Of course, on the first day we have to drive over 600 kilometers across the whole country. We have perfect weather. And we're glad we're here, glad we're on the road. We're looking forward to 2 weeks of fishing the whole day.
My name is Örn. I'm 25 years old. I'm an engineering student in University of Iceland. But in summer times I come here to the northeast where my family owns a piece of land and a brown trout river that flows through it. And since 2010 I've been catching and tagging the brown trout here in this river. Catch and release is pretty new in Iceland. It's like 15 years old. And it's still controversial within, with some people. Those who were against it were saying, oh, the fish will die, they can't stand being handled. And then they said, oh, they're being caught again and again and again is not good for them. Trout fishing generally, that's not catch and release. People want to keep the fish that they catch for eating. I was thinking, why is nobody just tagging the fish? And we'd know if, where the same fish were being caught over and over again, if they were surviving. But nobody was doing it, so I just thought I could do it myself.
So, second day in Iceland, we just arrived at our fishing spot. Well, it took us about an hour to get here through very rough terrain, heavy, big rocks. It was fun actually to get here.
We are here on Melrakkaslétta in the northeast of Iceland. Melrakkaslétta is a plateau and we hardly have any mountains here. But what very few people know is that there are very interesting small trout streams here as well.
Well, we're very excited. We haven't made a single cast yet, but we're about to get ready to do some fishing. We'll try our best and get some fishing on.
The good thing about fishing here is the quantity of fish. There is a lot of fish here. I have not experienced a day without fish here yet.
This kind of fishing we've experienced the last couple of days is like nothing we have ever done. Pretty different to the fishing we do at home. Well, first of all the fish are wild.
Nice. Look at those dots.
And they are not spooky at all. We caught so many fish, it was just amazing. We knew that the fish weren't going to be the biggest fish we had ever caught, but we hooked into some decent fish, size-wise as well. Next couple of days will be different. We'll be fishing some bigger rivers and we will go for salmon, which is something we have never done before, and we're very excited about that.
So we never caught salmon or Arctic char. You know, Arctic char is my Everest, so we're hoping we can get the chance here in Iceland to get at least one of these species.
So our first destination is a very small creek. Pretty rough landscape, almost never fished. And there should be sea run Arctic char coming up right now. We are hoping that's true, because Lucas and I both have never caught Arctic char.
So I can see at least 5 really good Arctic char in this pool right here. They're totally spooky. Jonas hooked one. Oh, I hooked one. We both lost them. So now we're trying to get in there from the sides, not from behind, and see if this works. Yep. So we were fishing this pool, like I said, and I don't want to lose that again. Hooked a really big char. And it's a pretty tough fight there on a 5-weight rod. It went under rocks. No, the rock. The rock killed us. The line was stuck, and in that moment I thought, I will lose this fish. I tried to net it. It was pretty big for our net, because we don't have those Icelandic, ridiculous big nets. When he finally netted, I was so relieved, and cannot describe that feeling, and that's what we came here for.
How do I wake my spirit cold? We always say when our history's told, if only we knew the things we know. question ages old. Let me down easy, let me down slow. If all good things ever come and go, let me back down in a place I know. Hold the nail for the hammer strong. This my track, this my tone.
That's strong fish, all right.
This my blood, this my bone. How do I learn my dreams to mold? To lay them bare in the morning cold. If they're still out there, then the chasm grows. For all you know, for all you know. Let me down easy, let me down slow. If all good things ever come and go, let me back down in a place I know.
The river is about 10 kilometers, flowing between two lakes. It's a cold river. It's got brown trout and Arctic char. I've only been looking at the fish here for about 5 years now, and it looks like that up to about 40-45 centimeters, the brown trout follow pretty much the same pattern as everywhere else. But around that 45 centimeter mark, they get big enough to start eat the small Arctic char. I've caught a 54 centimeter brown trout that vomited a 21 centimeter Arctic char. .87 kilos. I have a tagging gun that shoots in a T-tag. It goes into the fish, but a part of the tag is sticking out. And the part that sticks out has a unique number, number 96. And I write that number down, weight of the fish, length, sex, where I caught it. Cool. 38 centimeters, 0.67 kilos. So if I catch that fish again, I can just look at the number and then I know what fish it is, how much it's grown, if it's moving about in the river, migrating. I think I've shown that the fish are surviving easily. Like now in June 2015, I caught a fish that I had caught in 2010, 5 years earlier. Caught it again in 2013. It was almost half a kilo lighter. So some of these fish, I tag them, then I just don't see them again for years. In 2013, I caught 16 fish. 9 of them were recaptures. That's over 50%. So if I'd killed everything, there would be a pretty big percentage of the population. And if other Icelandic anglers came here, they wouldn't be ready to release a 1.5, 2 pound brown trout. No way. They'd just kill it. So I'm not interested in letting other people fish here. I'm really interested in this. I'm really curious about the future. Every year I get to know the river better and better. So hopefully I can do this for decades.
We're here in River Mýrakvísl in northeast Iceland. In the beginning of the summer it's mostly brown trout fishing, and when it gets closer to August it changes and becomes all about the salmon.
So here we are, same river. Our guide just spotted a really big salmon.
On the outside of that rock is a fairly decent sized fish.
And since I had bad luck with that other one above, I'm gonna try this and hopefully hook up with it and then see what happens next.
We've been now fishing for salmon for a couple of shifts. Had some interesting moments. Guess you need a hook for it as well, big hook.
Big hook for big fish.
Big hook, big fish.
So, like I said, I wanted to get a salmon. We fished there, right under that bridge. I'm so nervous right now. Switched flies, I think twice.
When my baby gets back, I'll have her just right.
That got him angry.
Put her in my arms and hold her tight.
And actually one salmon did take the fly. I waited, I lifted the rod, I had it.
When my baby gets back, I'll love her just right. Yeah.
Fought it for a minute and it just jumped and the fly came out towards me.
Those Atlantic salmon, they're not for everybody, you know. So let's go and have a cigarette. I'm not gonna smoke, but you can.
I'm shaking right now, so I have a cigarette and maybe get another shot. Let's see. I had him on.
I'm not sure, maybe it was the bottom.
Just one of those chain smoke days. It's just one of those chain smoke days. Oh, 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 oh. It's just one of those chain smoke days.
Yeah. I won't say anything until this fish is in the net. Well, this one isn't ready.
So here on Mýrakvísl we practice catch and release. Every salmon that's caught is released again into the river so they can finish the season doing their part to secure future generations of salmon running into the river. Anybody who would protest catch and release should come here and catch a tagged fish and try to tell me that it's bullshit. Try to tell me that all the fish die. They just simply don't.
Having experienced that catch and release and conservation in general are becoming more and more popular, we left Iceland in good spirits and confident that we would be able to return in the far future to find Iceland's fisheries in the same incredible condition as they are today.